What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Let's start out with a big trade in MLB yesterday. Crochet was traded to the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox acquire Chicago White Sox ace Garrett Crochet. Crochet was an absolute ace last year for the White Sox. Maybe the only lone bright spot on what was literally the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball. Last year, in 32 starts, he had a 3.58 ERA, 146 innings, 209 strikeouts in 146 innings. That's beyond insane. And 33 walks, a whip of just a touch over one. He had a great season. Still is only going to be 26 years old. Next year has 2 years of arbitration left. Prospects going the other way to the Chicago White Sox from the Boston Red Sox. Teal is the highlight of the return in this trade for the Chicago White Sox. He is a very good prospect. He was one of the best in the Red Sox system. He's a catcher. I think he's the 25th best in all of baseball. Last year, between AA and AAA, hit 288 with 13 homers, 78 RBIs, and OPS of 819. So he is a very good prospect, so possibly the catcher of the future for the Chicago White Sox. He was mainly in AA last year, played 28 games. AAA was much better in AA. I mean, it's obviously facing easier pitching in AA than in AAA. Hit 299, 11 homers, 60 RBIs, and 325 bats in AA. In AAA, 123 bats, 255, 2 homers, 18 RBIs. He had a 374 on base as well. So look, he's a very good prospect. The White Sox get back. Braden Montgomery was the other somewhat major piece. We have not seen him play minor league baseball yet. He was drafted recently by the Boston Red Sox. Actually, a first-round pick. In this past draft, 12th overall, an outfielder. Started at Stanford. His last year was at Texas A&M. His last year at A&M, he went crazy. 322, 27 homers, 85 RBIs. For his career in collegiate baseball, 187 games in collegiate baseball, 317, 62 homers, 203 RBIs. So he's only going to be 22 years old. We have not seen him play minor league baseball. He was just drafted, less than a year ago. So don't really know what he is, but he was very highly touted coming out of Texas A&M. He is an outfielder. 2 other prospects were involved in the deal. I think Montgomery is the 54th ranked prospect in mobile baseball, but by the way, Chase Madroff, he's an infielder. These next 2 guys are not in the top 100 when it comes to MLB. I think Madroff was the 11th best in the Red Sox system. He's an infielder, can play shortstop, third, as well as second base. Last year, he played shortstop slightly mainly. For 51 games at short, he had 35 at third. He had 19 at second. And he also had 20 games where he was a designated hitter last year. 293, 7 homers, 57 RBIs, 838 OPS in AAA. So he could be ready to possibly play every day at some point this year for the Chicago White Sox. He's a solid piece. Goes the other way. He seems like a guy that's a good hitter, very good bat-to-ball hitter, not a ton of power, kind of an okay run producer, versatile defender. So he's a solid, I would say like a solid infielder. And the other guy is a starting pitcher, Wilkman Gonzalez. I think that's his name. Wilkman Gonzalez, however you say that. Venezuelan starting pitcher. He was the 15th best in the Red Sox system. He is not really anything special. Last year in AA, 24 games including 19 starts, 5.16 ERA. The year before between high and AA, only had a 4.53 in 25 starts. He is not even pitched well even at AA. 279 in he had 279 in AA in 23 after struggling in high A, which is kind of weird, but did not have a good year in AA last year either. He is still going to be 23 this season, but nothing really much to see there. But this is a good trade for the Red Sox to give up a lot. This is very similar to the Chris Sale trade. Sale was already a proven, was a little bit older at the time. He was not old by any means when the Red Sox acquired him. He was a little bit more established in Crochet. You can make an argument at the time he was the best pitcher in all of baseball. So the Red Sox actually gave up the top 2 prospects in all of baseball at that point, which was Yoan Moncada and Michael Kopech. That definitely worked out for the Red Sox. Sale was a great Red Sox. Helps them win a big piece of their World Series in 2018. This is kind of similar, the Red Sox make a trade for the White Sox ace, who's still in his prime, who's got some years of control left. You're giving up a lot of prospects, but this is a good move for the Red Sox. Definitely needed a frontline arm in that rotation, and they get it. Obviously, they missed on Juan Soto. They think they only went to about $700 million on Soto, so you missed on him. So they were definitely trying. They didn't get Max Fried who they were going after, and they go and got Crochet. But I think this was I would probably take, even though they give up the prospects, they still have a lot of good prospects. Roman Anthony is number one prospect in all baseball. You still have him. You still have Marcelo Mayer, who's a second baseman. You still have him. You still have a couple of other very good prospects. So this is a very good move for the Boston Red Sox. And I do think on paper the White Sox got a good return. So that was a very good trade, especially for the Boston Red Sox. Some other moves that happened in baseball. Actually, there's only really one more that happened. Yankees re-signed Jonathan Loaiza to a one-year deal with a team option for 2026. Financial terms are not known yet. Loaiza, as a coming up a starter and kind of flaming out, was moved to the bullpen full-time in 2021 and had a very good year. 2.17 ERA in 57 games. That was, at this point, almost 4 seasons ago. But came back down to earth in 2022 at an ERA of 4.13 in 50 games. 2023, he started off pretty well, 3.06 his first 17 games, but then had Tommy John, so only pitched in 3 games last year. But when he last saw him, he was at least somewhat reliable relief pitcher. Yankees bring him back as they should have him no problems for opening day this year. Big news broke yesterday. Bill Belichick has been hired as the next head coach of the University of North Carolina football team. Bill Belichick coaching college football in 2025. That was not on my bingo card at all. Completely out of the woods. Obviously, there have been talks for a few days. Last week it broke that he was interviewing for the job. People were like, oh, he's just doing it for leverage. Then all of a sudden, they're like, oh, he interviews again. Like, oh, wait a minute. Then they're like, oh, he's being offered the job. It's like, he's not going to take it, right? And then it was to the point where it was like, all right, it looks like they're trying to finalize the deal. They're working out some things. And they finalized. So Bill is the next head coach of the University of North Carolina Tigers football team. They just let go of Mac Brown. Mac Brown was his second stint there. He was there for like 12 or 13 years a while back. He came back for the last few years. Wasn't great. Went 6-6 last year. They were very mediocre over the last few years under Mac Brown. They bring in Bill Belichick. He's going to get a 5-year deal worth $10 million per season. UNC's NIL pool, usually in the past, they allocated $4 million to spend in NIL. Now, with Bill coming in, they're going to expand that to $20 million. So, big jump there. It's 5 times the amount of money that they are willing to spend in the transfer portal and on NIL deals. Michael Lombardi is going to be the general manager of the team. But this is something that's happening a lot. Obviously, you saw Adrian Wojnarowski, longtime top NBA insider, also known for the Woj bombs. He left ESPN to go be the GM of the St. Bonaventure basketball program. You think, well, that's kind of weird. What does it mean? It's like a GM of a pro team. With NIL and transfer portal, it's just basically free agency in college basketball, and college football, and college sports. You need a GM now. So Michael Lombardi, he was I think he was a GM at one point in the NFL. He's done a lot of media stuff recently. He has a couple podcasts. He comes on the Pat McAfee show sometimes. And he was an assistant coach under Bill Belichick, I think from in the early mid-2000s, I think 04 to 06. He coached under Belichick when Bill was in New England. He's going to be the GM. Our Bill is assembling a staff. I'm assuming his son will be on the staff. Steve Belichick was he was a key assistant on the defensive side when Bill was in New England. This year was the defensive coordinator for the University of Washington. I heard there was a rumor that he was taking the job because he wanted his son to be the successor, and now was holding up the deal. So we'll see that. You wonder, does he call some old friends? Does he call up Josh McDaniels, who's not doing anything, his long-term offensive coordinator? Does he call up Matt Patricia, his long-time defensive coordinator? He's not doing anything. Now, you saw him go on Good Morning Football. He hasn't been coaching over the last year or two. He hasn't done anything in the NFL. He's just kind of been retired, enjoying his family. I'm not sure if Brian Flores would, leave being a defensive coordinator with the Vikings to go to college, especially since he could become a head coach again. Now, I cannot imagine Mike Vrabel, who most likely will be an NFL head coach next year, and right now is on the Browns staff, would leave to go join him for a college job. But you never know. We will see what happens. But Bill Belichick is the University of North Carolina head coach. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so let's talk some NFL. We're going to go over the standings real quick, and then we will get into game picks, because it is Game Picks Thursday. So let's get started. AFC East. Bills have already clinched that last week. AFC North, a little tight, but Pittsburgh seems to have a grasp of that. 2 games ahead of Baltimore right now. AFC South, Houston's 2 games ahead of the Colts, so they should win that. Not a problem. Houston is not a true contender, but Indianapolis is not very good either. Kansas City has already locked up the AFC West. They did that by beating the Chargers last week. Eagles have already clinched a playoff spot. 3 games ahead of Washington, so they should be clinching the division very soon. Lions also already clinched a playoff spot. We're actually only 1 game ahead of the Vikings, so keep your eyes peeled on that. AFC South, right now Tampa is ahead of the Falcons by a game at 7-6. So, because you all need to know about that division. And then Seattle's a game ahead of the Rams. Arizona and the Niners are also only 2 games out, so it's another division that's underperformed this year. And is still up for grabs, and is pretty tight right now. In the AFC standings right now, the 1 seed remains the Kansas City Chiefs at 12-1. They've already clinched their division, like I said. Bills are a 2 seed at 10-3. They've already clinched their division. Pittsburgh is the 3 seed at 10-3. And the 4 seed is Houston at 8-5. They currently lead the South. The 3 wild cards. First wild card is Baltimore at 8-5. Second wild card is the Chargers at 8-5. Of course, remember, the Ravens beat the Chargers in the Hard Bubble earlier in the year, so they were ahead of the Chargers. Last team right now is the Denver Broncos, also at 8-5. They'll probably be what we get. Indianapolis is 2 games out, as is Miami, and Cincinnati's hanging by a thread, for freaking dear life, and then everyone else is out. NFC, Lions and Eagles already clinched playoff spots. Lions are the 1 seed. Eagles are the 2 seed. Philly's the game behind them. Philly might steal. They have a pretty easy schedule to end the year. Detroit's is much harder. They get Buffalo. Detroit, I think they have a game against Pittsburgh. It's tough. Philly's got the Giants again. They get Dallas again. Philly might steal that. Seattle right now is the 3 seed. Seattle is still being the 3 seed. I did not see it happening this year. 8-5. Tampa's the 4 seed at 7-6. First wild card is the Vikings at 11-2. That's where they're 11-2. They're worse. They're ranked worse than the Bucs for 7-6. That's funny how that works. But the second wild card is the Packers 9-4. As you see, the NFC North has been very, very strong this year. Besides the Bears, obviously. And the last team right now is the Commanders at 8-5. But Rams are right there, only a game out. Falcons only 2 games out, because both teams are still alive in their divisions, very much so as well. Arizona is 2 games out, as is San Francisco. And the Saints and Dallas, hanging by a thread, they're not getting in. And then the Bears and Panthers technically aren't eliminated yet, but they are very bad. They're not going anywhere. And with that, let's do our game picks. Week 15, winding down the home stretch of the season in the NFL. Thursday Night Football tonight on Prime Video. Rams and 49ers. I'm going with the Rams. Niners have so many injuries. I do believe Isaac Reno is going to play, and he played very well last week against the Bears. It's also the Bears. The Rams defense has been playing a little bit better. Debo's not happy right now. A lot of guys are out. Although I think they may be getting Drake Greenlaw back for the first time this season. He hasn't played in almost a year as good as he is. Rams are playing some really good football. They're scoring a lot of points. Stafford's playing great. Puka Nakua's had another incredible year in his second year for the Rams. So I'm going to take the Rams to win that game. 1 o'clock slate on Sunday. Cowboys, Panthers. I'm going to take Carolina. That Dallas team is really bad. Cooper Rush has not played well at all. Their running game is really bad. They're very bad on defense. Bryce Young's been playing a lot better. He's looked pretty good. Chuba Hubbard has had a really good year for them. And the Carolina defense is very, very bad. But I think Carolina will pull this one out. Chiefs and Browns. I'm going to take the Chiefs. James Winston, he's funny, but guys, a turnover machine. Chiefs are going to get this one done. Dolphins up with Texans. I'm going to take the Texans. In this one, like I said, they're not really a true contender. Stroud has not had a great year. He's taken us such a small step back. But Miami, just, I don't know what to think about them. They're not great. Chu's been playing a lot better, but Tyreek Hill's not had a great year. I'm taking the Houston Texans in that game. Jets Jaguars. First of all, dude, can you even televise this game? Jets Jaguars. That's going to be just utterly vile. I'm going to take the Jets. Both teams are really bad. Jacksonville's got Mac Jones in there, and the Jets defense has been really struggling for a while. They got Mac Jones in there with really only one weapon. The run game isn't great. Their defense is absolutely horrendous. Jets also have Aaron Rodgers, who is cooked. Breece Hall might not play again. And they're just, basically quit at this point. But I'll take the Jets in what's going to be a horrendously bad game. Commanders up the Saints. Give me the Commanders. The Saints' whole team is out. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Saints. Is it Jake Haener? I don't know. He doesn't have a single receiver. His best healthy receiver is who? Marcus Voleskelly, who's been on the team for like a month. And your tight end is Jawan Johnson. Their defense can't stop anybody. And that's he got Marshall Lattimore facing his former team. Give me the Washington Commanders in that game. Ravens Giants. Give me the Ravens. Derrick Henry's gonna run a wall through the Giants. That Ravens defense has not had a good year. They have not played well this year at all. But Tommy DeVito is back to being the starting quarterback. That offense is extremely dysfunctional. Malik Neighbors might not play. They are just cooked, the Giants. 2-11 right now. I think of a second pick in the draft. They're, flip the coin who the worst team is. Now are the Raiders. I mean, the Jaguars could also make an argument too. A lot of bad football teams this year, but I'll take the Ravens. I don't expect that game to be all that close. Bengals and Titans. I'm going to take the Bengals. Titans are really bad. Will Levis is absolutely horrible. That team is atrocious. By the way, I hope Joe Burrow's doing okay. I know his home was just broken into. Hopefully he's doing okay with that. But Bengals, they can't stop anybody, but they can help score a lot of freaking points. So I'll take the Bengals now on them. 425 slate. Patriots, Cardinals. I will take Arizona. They are not playing good football. Kyler is struggling. I am not a fan of Kyler, as you all know. Marvin Harris, they have Marvin Harrison. They don't use him. And the guy's phenomenal. We all saw what he did in college. He's had some great games here. He hasn't had a drop since week 1, I don't think. But Patriots, that team is very bad. They're not great defensively. I know having Agent Zero on Marvin Harrison will help a lot. But Drake May obviously does not have a lot to work with. That receiving core is beyond bad. So give me the Arizona Cardinals. Colts at the Broncos. I'm going to take Denver. That Denver defense is really freaking good. I don't expect Indianapolis to get really anything going. I think they'll get a lot of pressure on Anthony Richardson to force him to make some mistakes. And that Colts defense is very bad. Secondary is absolutely horrible. And I think Bo Nix has himself a nice game. Courtland Sutton, start him in fantasy. Give me Denver. Bills, Lions could be a game of the year candidate. I'm going to take the Bills. You do lose to the Rams last week, but Rams have been playing well. Josh Allen did have six touchdowns in that game. Lions, they're an amazing team, obviously, but a lot of injuries on defense for the Lions. I think Josh Allen has another big game. The Bills defense was playing better, though they got torched last week for 44 against the Rams. But in a phenomenal game, I think the Bills pull it out. Bills, this is definitely the Bills' best shot. This is their best team, I think, in this whole run that they've had since they became an elite team. Bucks, Chargers. I'm going to take the Chargers. Baker's obviously had a good year. We all know what Mike Evans is. But, their defense is so bad. I know Dobbins I don't think is playing in this game. Len McConkey may or may not. But, Harbaugh, Justin Herbert. I still believe in the Los Angeles Chargers. And that defense is also really good for the Chargers. I think the Chargers pull this one out. I think we will see what good coaching and bad coaching is with Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers and Todd Bowles with the Bucks. And then 425 Steelers Eagles, another phenomenal game. This might be the best slate of games the NFL's had this year. Steelers Eagles. I'm gonna take the Steelers. The Steelers are for real. Russ Wilson has played a lot better. G. Harris has had a very good season. To me, it's best year since his rookie year. George Pickens, I don't think is going to play in this game, which is a concern. But so that Steelers defense is playing really well. A lot of locker missions going on in Philly. With A.J. Brown and Hurts, going at it. Brandon Graham coming out and saying, they don't really get along too well. Like that Eagles, obviously they got Saquon Barkley, who is amazing. One of the best players in football this year. Eagles defense has been very good. That front seven's really good. The secondary's played a lot better. Cooper DeJean has been very good, though I do think they're not going to have Reed Blankenship for this game. I will take the Seahawks to win that game in an upset. Sunday Night Football, Packers and Seahawks. I'm going to take Green Bay. I do like the way the Seahawks are playing. Geno's been playing pretty well. That defense is playing better. These got Ushane Nwosu back, their top pass rusher. But I am going to take the Green Bay Packers. Jordan's playing very well. That team's also playing really well. They're very good offensively. They're very good defensively. They've been a lot better defensively. I'm going to take the Packers. And Monday Night Football, we have a doubleheader. By why is 1 at 8, 1 at 8:30? That's so dumb. We don't like these doubleheaders on Monday Night Football. Bears are at the Vikings. The Bears are just dead in the water. Keel Williams has overall struggled this year. That offense is so much more dysfunctional than it should be. Now the defense is struggling. The Vikings should have not much of an issue winning that game. I don't expect that game to even be close. I mean, you had a mediocre 4-hour team that looked like it was almost dead in the water. A zillion injuries, and you got lit up. Give me the Vikings. And Falcons at the Raiders, give me the Falcons. Like, they're not playing well at all. Kirk Cousins hasn't had a touchdown in a month. 0 tutties and 8 picks in his last 4 games. But the Raiders are a level of bad that is almost comical. Their starting quarterback is Desmond Ridder. But if Desmond Ridder beats the Falcons need to fire everybody. I do not care. Raheem Morris, Zach Robinson, the whole coaching staff, the whole front office, cut everybody. And if I should step in and make all for playing style team, if Desmond Ridder beats the Falcons, it's over. It's over. That being said, I don't think it's going to happen because he is beyond bad. Their starting quarterback is what? Sincere McCormick is your starting running back. Yeah, your top receiver is Jacoby Myers, but obviously Brock Bowers is the tight end. You know, I mean, this shouldn't be a great game, I don't think, but I think the Falcons do win this one because the Raiders are just a level of bad that I've almost never seen. But that's all I got for you guys today. Most likely, no show tomorrow. I'm traveling back home. We'll be on Zoom for a few weeks, 3 weeks or so, because I'll be back home, so I won't have the studio. But I will be live most likely next time on Monday, definitely Tuesday. But until next time, so long. Have a great day.